Okay, let's just dive right in, shall we? Welcome to this explainer, all about mastering summer vegetable curry. Look, if you're trying to find that ultimate culinary fix for these hot, draining summer months, you've landed in the absolute perfect spot. We're going to unpack the absolute best techniques, pulled directly from culinary pros, to transform your everyday ingredients into something literally spectacular. So, question for you. Are you completely over that heavy summer fatigue? Or maybe you're dealing with kids who just straight up refuse to touch their vegetables at dinner. Look, it's so common. When the heat spikes, our appetites usually tank, right? And honestly, the last thing anyone wants to do is stand over a sweltering stove. It just feels like a massive chore. Well, the solution is right here: summer vegetable curry. Honestly, this isn't just another dinner. It's basically the ultimate cure-all for heat fatigue. It's loaded with essential vitamins, it beautifully disguises all those healthy veggies so picky eaters won't even notice, and it uses these amazing appetite-stimulating spices that just wake up your whole system. A vibrant, properly made summer curry effortlessly solves both of those dinner table struggles. So here's our game plan for today. 1. We'll cover summer troubles and curry's magic. 2. Seasonal veggies, how to select and prep them. 3. Some really surprising shortcuts and waterless methods. 4. Authentic spice-scented soup curry. And finally, 5. The ultimate secret ingredients used by the pros. All right, moving into part 2, seasonal veggies, selection and prep. Now, you can't just grab the very first tomato you see at the market, right? You want to look for tomatoes that actually feel heavy in your hand, with a nice bright green stem, and those radiating lines that scream sweetness. For okra, you're looking for a nice uniform fuzz. Definitely avoid any that have hard, angular edges. That just means they've gotten really tough. Eggplants should be super firm, deep in color, and, this is absolutely crucial, they should have sharp spikes on the stem. That's your freshness indicator. And for corn, you want plump, glossy kernels and a ton of silk. More silk actually means a cob packed with more kernels. Who knew, right? Okay, let's talk prep. Because we all know eggplants are notorious for acting like giant sponges. They just soak up all your oil and make the curry ridiculously heavy. But enter culinary expert Indo Curryco's brilliant hack. Check this out. First, you cut the eggplant longitudinally to give it some nice texture. And then you sprinkle the white flesh with just a little bit of salt. But here's the real secret. You heat it gently in a dry pan first. This draws out the moisture so the eggplant literally starts to sweat. You only add oil after it sweats. This totally stops it from soaking up all that excess oil. It is an absolute game changer for getting a lighter, healthier curry compared to the usual deep frying. And hey, speaking of brilliant prep hacks, you have to try this ultimate corn rice trick from House Foods. So you wash your 3 cups of rice, add your normal water, and a little salt. But here's the twist. Instead of just tossing your corn kernels in, you shave them off and place them, along with the empty cob, right on top of the rice in the cooker. Throw in a little butter, cook it, and just pull the cob out before you mix it all up. That leftover cob is basically a flavor bomb. It extracts all that maximum sweet, earthy flavor directly into the rice grains. It's so good. Okay, let's roll into section 3, surprising shortcuts and waterless methods. So, depending on how much time you've actually got, we're looking at 3 distinct cooking paths here. The rice cooker waterless method is super low effort and gives you a sweet, direct spice profile. Then there's the quick pan-fried method. This one's medium effort. You sear the veggies separately to get a really fresh, highly textural finish. And finally, if you've got the time, the scratch soup curry is high effort, but it pays off with this complex, aromatic dish that's built by blooming whole spices. You just pick the path that fits your day. Notice that giant 0? That is highlighting the viral rice cooker method that uses absolutely 0 water and 0 tomatoes. No way, right? But it's true. And for folks who really aren't fans of acidity, this is just amazing. You just toss everything into the rice cooker and the magic happens. The dish relies entirely on the natural juices and the deep sweetness of the veggies to create the curry's liquid. It's totally hands-off, completely fuss-free, and surprisingly rich. Moving right along to section 4, authentic spice-scented soup curry. Now, to truly master this style, we have to understand the core philosophy behind it. Just like Indo Curryco says, soup curry is a co-starring of dashi and spices. If the dashi isn't solid, it's a non-starter. Basically, you just can't rely on the spice alone. A genuinely masterful soup curry demands this delicate, perfectly engineered balance between a deeply savory broth, that's your dashi, and those vibrant, aromatic spices. Let's walk through exactly how you layer these flavors over time. Right at minute 0, you want to bloom your whole spices, things like cardamom and clove, in hot oil. This wakes up all those dormant essential oils. Then, at the 5-minute mark, you drop in your onions and brown them deeply to build a really savory base. Fast forward to 15 minutes, and you're sautéing fresh tomatoes until they cook down into this concentrated sweet paste, which completely cooks out their raw acidity. Finally, at 20 minutes, you bring in your powder spices, your dashi, whether you're using a seafood or chicken base, and just let the whole thing simmer into perfect harmony. But hey, what if you don't happen to have a massive, fully stocked spice rack? Don't worry. Culinary researcher Riko Yamamoto has a phenomenal trick for standard store-bought curry powder. You just dry roast it in a pan first. It's so simple, but it dramatically revives and enhances all those dormant aromas, totally mimicking that complex from-scratch vibe. Or, if you do want to go entirely from scratch, you can mix up coriander, cumin, paprika, chili, and throw in some herbs like thyme and oregano. That's going to give you a super bright, totally customized flavor profile. And that brings us to Section 5, Ultimate Secret Ingredients by Pros. So, House Foods actually breaks down secret ingredients into 4 main pillars of flavor enhancement. This is like being a culinary magician, balancing your pot perfectly. If you need some sweetness, just grate in an apple or swirl in some honey. Want a little acidity to brighten the whole thing up? Yogurt or lemon will absolutely do the trick. Lacking richness? Toss in a bit of dairy or some ground nuts. And if you're chasing deep complexity, try a pinch of instant coffee or chocolate. Honestly, it's all about tasting your pot, figuring out exactly what's missing, and just plugging that gap. Understanding how contrasting flavors play together is super key here. Take umeboshi, for example, the Japanese pickled plum. Now, I know that might sound like a wildly unexpected thing to put in a rich stew, but adding it during the simmer is straight up genius. The sharp acidity and intense saltiness act almost like a knife. It cuts right through the heavy, fatty richness of the curry, tightens up the entire flavor profile, and leaves behind this profound wave of umami. You've got to try it. But listen, when you add, your secret ingredient is just as important as what you add. If you're going with honey or chutney, you have to get that in during the early simmer. It needs a solid 20 minutes to meld into the sauce and thicken up properly without breaking the texture. On the flip side, ingredients like instant coffee or chocolate, those need to go in at the very end, just in small pinches. The residual heat melts them instantly, and it perfectly mimics that deep, slightly bitter complexity of a stew that's been simmering away for days. So, we've really covered it all today. The science of selecting the best summer produce, those incredible time-saving hacks for prepping things like eggplant and corn, the timeline for building a proper soup curry from the ground up, and exactly when to deploy those secret ingredients. So, here's my question for you. Which secret ingredient are you going to sneak into your curry pot tonight? Seriously, try applying just one of these techniques the next time you cook and watch your dinner transform into absolute culinary magic. Thanks so much for hanging out and learning with us today.